My name is Ilia Malinin, and I am a singles U.S. figure skater.
A pretty good singles figure skater.
Just a little bit.
Ranked number one.
Maybe. We'll
For a couple of years now.
For a couple of years. Not too long, you know. It's really big, and I think that especially having experience with both my parents competing at the Olympics, the biggest goal is to be able to go there and hope that I'm healthy enough that I will be able to go there and compete there. But it's always, I feel like I want to really push myself again, as I said, just level it up each year, each time, and I'm really hoping that with the right amount of training, or right amount of mental focus and physical, just in that zone, getting ready before the Olympics, just go there and to try to skate my best to win that gold medal. Like, it will mean so much to me. It's going to be so impactful, and I think it's also really just helpful, and it will be a start to something bigger in the future and bring me more opportunities, more things to do, and really just use that Olympic gold medal and the Olympics as leverage for something even bigger. I feel like it's very important in terms of, we'll call it my status in the skating world, and how I am proud to be representing the Team USA and all the US athletes in any sport. I really feel a part of that Team USA community, and we all come together to share all of our experiences in different sports, whether it be Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics, or even sports that are not even in any of the Olympics or competitions. I feel like we're all just a team of athletes who represent Team USA, and it's just such an honor to be one of those amazing athletes. I really hope that I can give them a sense of feeling that it's more than just the Olympics, it's more than just the programs, that this sport is our life, this is our choice, this is something that we have dedicated a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of sacrifices to, and that it shouldn't be looked down upon, and it should really be taken into consideration when you're doing such a difficult sport like this. Not only do you have to do all of these really athletic jumps, tricks, and spins, and also really beautiful choreography and skating and interesting skating styles, but also you have to make it look so easy and so effortless, and be like, oh, you have to make it look like I do this easily on a daily. Just like it's like you brush your teeth without thinking, you have to make it look the same way. It requires a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of dedication. It's really challenging to, get at this level, and I would really say that I got really fortunate that my progress went really fast and that I was able to grow in that short amount of time to get to the level where I am. But it's really harder than that. It's a really long process. It's, you take hours, you take sacrifices, people used to sacrifice their jewelry just to be able to afford skates and afford gear, and so it's a very costly sport, but I think sometimes it's always worth it when you have this passion, when you have this inspiration, you really give it all your 100%, I think you can really achieve something big in it. It's a lot of pressure, don't get me wrong, some people use the pressure to embrace it, and they really are able to use that as motivation, which I think that's something that I do really well. But also a lot of people, the pressure really gets to them, it messes them up, and it really messes with their mental capabilities. So I think it comes down to the person, and you always want to learn it with experience. The more you do it, the more comfortable it gets, and you start to understand what pressure does to you, and then how you can manage that and what you need to do to kind of either push it aside or to kind of use it to your advantage. So it really, again, it depends on the personality, and just coming with experience. It was pretty tricky because both my parents, they're my coaches, and they've both been to an Olympics as figure skaters, and they always had to bring me to the rink because they were there from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day, and it's kind of more like I was hanging around the rink, and I wanted to I just said one day, oh, I want to try to skate, I want to see how it is. And they were actually really against that. They didn't really want me to go into figure skating. They hoped that I would kind of try to pick another sport or another hobby, but really enjoyed skating, and from there it was kind of more like recreational, just for fun as a hobby. Just skate for a few years, and every year it'd always be something different, like, oh, I want to skate a few more hours, I want to skate a few more days, or then another year it's like, oh, I want to start competing and performing in front of a crowd. And then it got to a point where it was pretty serious, and I was like, oh, I want to do this more serious and professionally. It is a nickname that I embrace, and sometimes it does help me get through, competition is like, yes, like you are skating and there's a lot of people watching, but you are the QuadGod, and sometimes that helps me just like focus and gives me like a standard to live up to, and really helps me kind of push myself a little to kind of stay at that level. The actual trick itself is called a butterfly twist, or B twist for short, and I guess there's a move in skating called a butterfly, and you add a twist into it. It's called a butterfly twist, and it's a pretty common trick that's off the ice done in like parkour, like tricking and kind of doing flips and stuff like that. So on the ice, people have done it before. I know a lot of skaters and a lot of people who have done it in competition before on the ice, but I think that it's the fact that it hasn't been out there for so long is just why I decided to put it out there, because no one is doing it at this time. So I was like, oh, I really want to put this in, and I think that this can be like my signature move for me. And the way it started as Raspberry Twist is because my last name means raspberry in Russian. And a lot of people ask me, why raspberry? Why couldn't it be like the hurricane flip or something cool, like a sideways tornado spin? I'm like, well, I think Raspberry Twist fits better because it corresponds to like my name. I think at first when I started really getting more serious, and I would even say if it was 2-3 years ago, I was not necessarily thinking about changing the sport, revolutionizing. I was really thinking about just trying to be the best skater I can be, and it was more of just have this small goal of trying to be successful and what like my eyes would see that. But as years went on, and now starting last year and this year, I have a really different approach to it. I really want to try to maximize the just amount that I can revolutionize the sport and really take this to its next level. I really want to, how far I want to take this sport, I really want it to reach another level of just being able to bring back the popularity of skating how it was decades ago. Like, that was just really insane, knowing that all the stadiums were filled and they were sold out with just anything at competition shows. Every news broadcast was showing figure skating all the time, and people were so entertained, and I feel like that's something that we're missing a lot, and that's a little bit of why the sport is looked down upon, is they don't realize how hard it is, and I really want to try to bring that back. Oh, usually off the ice it's more, for me it varies different in different skaters, different athletes, what helps them, but I usually use off ice to kind of take like a VOD review, just to look at a competition and kind of try to find some things that I can work on, or a few mistakes that I need to fix, or even just parts of a performance that I need to kind of change or make more comfortable. So it's all just, that's kind of the biggest thing that I do off ice, is kind of just review and then trying to take all those small minor mistakes and try to fix them out so everything's kind of level and I can be at my maximum potential. What I do when I'm not skating or on the ice is I like to listen to music, because it helps me kind of relax and kind of calm my emotions down. It helps me kind of stimulate what emotions I want to feel, as well as just kind of different activities, stuff that's not really like skating. It can be like skateboarding, video games, sleep, eating, like kind of more basic stuff that's not really actually skating, but it does help me kind of, take my mind off of skating a little bit, so it's not always in my head 24/7, because for me that sometimes is really effective. That's like a kind of tradition that I do, yes. It doesn't always have to be chocolate, but I kind of like to eat a little bit right before I compete, so it kind of helps me suppress a little of those nerves. Like, instead of making me feel nervous, I can eat a little bit and it will make me feel like more full. So it's kind of a different feeling. I prefer to eat Hershey's milk chocolate before I skate, and I feel like I've always had this thing since I competed, since I did everything, and usually most of the time when I've had a Hershey's chocolate, I've always had a pretty successful and pretty happy performance. So it kind of has a little coincidence there, but usually also when I'm doing that, the music I like to listen to is pretty random at times. It really just depends how I'm feeling in that mood. When I listen to a piece of music or type of genre, I'll always I know that feeling. It's like, oh, this is the right song for this moment, and this is getting me fired up. This is exactly how I want to feel before I step onto that ice.